Hi there, it's Nikki Williams here, qualified nutritionist and founder of Happy Hormones for Life, and this is a special little vlog article for the Me readers. And today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that comes up very rarely actually, because the women are a bit embarrassed about it, but it's incredibly common, especially as we hit 40 and beyond, and that's low sex drive. And it's not often talked about, but it is a real problem for some women. Now, some women will naturally lose their desire as they get older, and that's fine. They're not really interested. But for a lot of women, it's really important to them to keep their libido and their relationship going, and that intimacy and all of that stuff. And it can be a bit of a problem because as we get older, our hormones start to fluctuate, and we've got a lot of stress, and our energy goes, and we just might not feel in the mood for things. We've got a lot on our plates, and the last thing you want at night is to be thinking about that. And that goes for the guys too. I mean, they're busy and tired as well. But if you do want a healthy sex life, then this is something that you need to be really looking at and working out, physically why you might not feel the desire you used to feel. And also really just putting some effort into it, because if you don't use it, you lose it. But there are some physical things that are happening, and that you might want to look at and address, and there are lots of natural ways of improving things. So there are four main hormones that I call the feisty four, that are in charge of us pretty much as we get past 40 and beyond. And they really pretty much control your energy, your weight, metabolism, mood, and the way you feel and your brain functions as well. So the first one is cortisol, and that's your stress hormone. Of course, stress is going to impact your sex life and your desires, because stress is exhausting, it's draining, it impacts your mood, it impacts your energy levels, your metabolism, but most of all, it suppresses your sex hormones. So if you imagine when your body's in a state of survival and stress, it prioritizes that over everything else. So reproduction is not going to be the priority when your body's in survival mode. So it'll squash all the sex hormone production and really prioritize cortisol, your stress hormone, to keep you going. And that is why stress can have a very detrimental effect on your libido and your will, really, to live. So stress is a big one, and cortisol also has an impact on ovulation. So it might suppress ovulation, and that's why it's always sometimes difficult. Fertility is sometimes difficult when there's a lot of stress around. Thyroid is the next one, and the thyroid is your metabolism regulator. So if you don't have enough thyroid, your metabolism just kind of really gets sluggish, because thyroid gives your cells energy to do what they need to do. So it gives your brain energy to think straight and memorize things. It'll give your brain also ability to regulate your mood. So you can get very low moods if you've got low thyroid, and your brain can be really foggy. Also anxiety is a big thing as well. And thyroid is essential for a healthy libido, because sex hormone production is again affected, and your mood goes right down and all of that. So your body just generally goes into a sort of lethargic, sluggish mode when you haven't got enough thyroid hormone. So that's the other one. Thirdly, estrogen, and particularly progesterone as well. So they are in relation with each other. They need to be in a nice balanced ratio. But what happens is over 40, your progesterone declines quite rapidly, and it can leave you estrogen dominant. At the same time, estrogen is fluctuating as well as your ovulation comes, or your ability to ovulate starts to decline. So you can get symptoms of low and high estrogen all the way through the month on any given day. So low estrogen can be very problematic for libido, because estrogen is what makes you feel sexy. It's your feminine hormone. It gives you your curves, whether you like them or not. It makes all your internal vessels and arteries and linings all kind of supple and lubricated. So when you've got low estrogen, things can be quite dry. You can get vaginal dryness, and pain, and intercourse can be quite painful. It also messes with your memory, your sleep, so you can get extra fatigue as well. So when you've got high estrogen, it's things like PMS, headaches, bloating, fluid retention, breast tenderness, all of those things. And you know, that will mess with your mood as well. You're not going to really feel like doing anything when you've got high or low estrogen. And this can happen quite frequently during these perimenopausal years. Progesterone I talked about. You need healthy levels to balance estrogen, but also for healthy libido. There's also testosterone, which is obviously very important for women as well as men as you get older, and that naturally declines as well. So that can have a big impact on libido, but also brain health, bone health, and heart health as well. So it's important to get that checked at some point. So what do we do about it all? Well, there are obviously things you can do to rebalance your hormones, and I'm going to go through my top tips now. So the first one is to chill out. Reducing stress levels can balance out that cortisol, boost your energy, your mood, and your sex hormone production. So what I always recommend is that you do some form of daily relaxation, whether that's 10 minutes listening to a mindfulness app, or 10 minutes reading a book, or sitting quietly listening to music, or going for a walk in nature, or whatever it is your thing that switches off that stress response. You need to be doing it every single day, because we get stressed every day, and we need to be able to switch off, and that's going to help with your sex hormone production. Balancing your blood sugar is the next one, because if you're eating tons of carbs and sugar, you're likely to be on a blood sugar roller coaster. And when you get those dips, it affects your energy and your mood. And we want to be eating lots of proteins and fats with each meal, and low glycemic load carbs, which are complex carbs like sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, that kind of thing, root veg. And those sorts of things won't spike your blood sugar. You'll be nicely balanced, and you won't get those nasty dips. Third, we want to be eating fat. Fat is your friend when it comes to hormones, and we're talking good fats. Obviously we don't want the bad fats. We want lots of good fats, because your sex hormones are made from cholesterol and fat, and it's really important for your body to get enough fats. And when we're all on low fat diets, we're not getting enough fats, and our hormones tend to suffer. So we're looking at avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, coconut oil, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, what else? Yeah, that's the sort of the healthy fats that we really like to eat. And you know, having those for every meal will really help fill you up, as well as absorb the fat soluble vitamins as well. So it's really important to include healthy fats. Number 4, eating lots of cruciferous vegetables. Now, cruciferous vegetables include things like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Swiss chard, watercress, rocket, those sorts of things. You can Google it, there's a long list. And what these vegetables have is something called DIM inside them, and DIM helps to clear out excess estrogen so that it doesn't get reabsorbed into your body and cause an excess. So it's really important to help metabolize and get rid of all that extra hormone that you don't need. Next tip is Epsom salt baths. Now, if you like having a nice bath to relax you, that's another good way to switch off that stress response. Throw a handful or 2 handfuls in of Epsom salts, because they've got lots of magnesium in them. And when you lie and relax in a bath, you absorb all that lovely magnesium. Magnesium is something we're all pretty much deficient in, and it's incredibly important. It's your relaxation mineral, your anti-stress mineral, and it helps with energy production as well. So really important to have lots of magnesium. Next thing is maca. Have you heard of maca? It's a superfood that you can buy in a powder. It's an ancient root from Peru that's powdered, and it's they call it in Peru their natural Viagra. So it helps with stamina, with mood, with energy, and with libido. So you never know. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but if you pop a spoonful of that in your smoothie, it's worth a try, and it tastes good as well. Next thing is to check your medications. Now, the birth control pill is obviously designed to suppress ovulation, and if you're on that, obviously that's a good form of contraceptive. But it can have common side effects. And these include low libido, low energy, headaches, that kind of thing, and weight gain. Yeah, so other medications all have side effects as well, so just check that and maybe ask your doctor for a review and discuss any alternatives if you think that might be affecting you. But low libido is a common side effect of the pill, or other hormonal contraception as well. Next thing to give it a go is HIIT, or high intensity interval training. Now this comes with a caveat. You must be quite fit to do this already. I don't want you starting from scratch having done nothing, because it's quite intense. It has been shown to increase testosterone and growth hormone, and these are fat burning hormones, and they're again very good for libido and getting you in the mood, so might be worth a try. And there are some really good online workouts. One's called Metabolic Prime, which is one of my favourites. It's a set of 15-minute HIIT exercises that you can do at home. You can just download them. There's lots on YouTube as well, so just have a go, but obviously be very careful, and if you haven't exercised for a while, do check with your doctor. Yoga is one of my favourite things to do. It is great for strength, flexibility, but it also stress busting, and it improves your mood as well. And anecdotally, very good for your sex life, but not for everyone. Detoxing is incredibly important for all of this, because we've got a lot of chemicals in our environment, non-organic foods, we've got pesticides, we've got plastics, in our fragrances and chemicals in our personal care and our cleaning products and our household products, and some of these can mimic your own estrogen. They're like fake estrogen, so they attach to your estrogen receptors and fool your body into thinking you've got excess estrogen, and obviously that's going to produce the symptoms I talked about earlier and mess with this delicate hormone balance at a stage when our hormones are already quite in flux, if you like. So it's really important to go organic wherever possible, especially where you eat the skins of the fruit or the veg that you were talking about, salad leaves, berries, apples, that kind of thing. They're very absorbent of the pesticides, and we don't want those inside our bodies messing with our hormone balance at this stage. And also going to some more natural brands of household cleaning products and personal care products. So things like anything with fragrance listed in it, scented candles, air fresheners, products with fragrance in them. These are the things that can mess with estrogen. And I know that everywhere it's impossible to avoid everything, but minimizing your exposure is very possible. You can switch to very more natural, organic brands that don't have these phthalates in them, these fragrance chemicals, and you'll be doing yourself a big favor. So I hope that has been helpful. Do get in touch if you want to know more, or you have any questions, or if you want to just know how to work with us if you've got hormone issues. We do really good testing and one-to-one coaching. So anything like that would be great. I'm quite happy to have a chat with any of you. So do get in touch. And I hope that was helpful. And I'll see you next time. Take care.